Hi there, Jorge Coxaj here. Today's message is be on guard for your workplace or at your workplace or in the work that you do. Now, this message is important because, where we work or the work that we do takes up a lot of our time. In fact, most of my day goes to work and the work that I do. And sometimes, I've found myself in situations where I work is influencing me more than I'm influencing the place that I'm working at. And if it's a good place, then great, yay, the people are good around me and I'm being impacted positively, that's great. But if the place is with people that are not positive influences, then it's gonna influence me negatively. And it kind of reminds me of when I was a kid. I used to eat a lot of cereal. My parents worked a lot, immigrant parents. Both of them worked a lot. My mom had 3 jobs. So a lot of the times she couldn't make dinner. She couldn't cook for us after we got home from school. So we had cereal for breakfast, we had the school lunch for lunch, and then we had cereal for dinner because that's just what was available. My favorite cereal were Cocoa Puffs. And I remember you take I don't eat that anymore, of course, because, sugar's a thing now. So, I'd put my Cocoa Puffs in my milk and the milk would change color. It would take on the color of the Cocoa Puffs because it was all chocolatey and delicious and stuff. So here's the thing though. Some of us, and sometimes in my life, I haven't been like the Cocoa Puff, right? That changes the color of the milk that I'm in, that influences my society. Sometimes I'm like the milk. Not that as I age, I get, all curdled and decomposed and stuff, but in that I'm affected by the thing that I'm in. I'm affected by the society that I'm in, and sometimes negatively, and this is a very important thing because where we work needs to be a place that is impacted by the light that we carry. The Bible tells us we are the light and the salt of the world. That includes our workplace. We need to be people who are influencing our workplace, are influencing our work positively. Bring in the light, right? Bring the light, bring the salt. You bring the flavor. You bring the kingdom flavor. You bring the kingdom light. And it's important that we do that because the Bible tells us in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 31, therefore, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. Now, this isn't straight up talking about work. It's talking about, what you're eating or what you choose to do, whether you do it or not. And what Paul is pointing out here is that all of the things that you do, no matter what it is that you are doing, should be doing it for the glory of God. It's saying that we are accountable to somebody much bigger than us, much higher than us, to a power that's greater than ourselves. And as we are accountable to God, we need to make sure that we are doing things for His glory. So I'm not making a spreadsheet. I am glorifying God with my work ethic. I am not making sure I'm at work on time. I am glorifying God with my example of punctuality. We are giving glory to God when we are bringing the light, when we are bringing the salt to the workplace that we are in. And that's the goal, or that should be the goal, right? We should be the kind of influence in our space that has a positive effect where we work. I remember that during COVID, when it first started, when the whole pandemic thing began and people started closing down and shutting down, it became very stressful at work. It was a very stressful environment. People were very stressed out. The world was shutting down at the time and didn't know what to do. People didn't know what's going to happen tomorrow or what's going to happen next week. And during that time, it was so important for especially people that were believers to bring the light and to be that positive influence at our workplace. And I remember being in a work meeting one day, and we were talking about all the people that had quit and all the people that needed to be fired because they weren't coming to work. And those conversations were being had around this table, and the decisions needed to be made, those difficult decisions. But I stayed very calm. And I remember having this peace. And it wasn't because I'm a very calm person. I'm not the most calm person, but I had this peace in my heart because I knew that no matter what was happening around me, God was in control, and that somehow He would show us the way. And that's what I had chosen to believe. That's what I had chosen to set in my mind, to allow to stay in my mind. And I remember that my coworkers would tell me, I love coming to talk to you because, you make me feel at peace. During this very difficult time, you make me feel at peace. And most of the time, I'm going to be honest with you, I was like, what is going on here? Like what's going to happen? And I wouldn't even say anything. Like I would just stay there and going, But that's what being the light meant. It meant that in my workplace, I brought the presence and the trust in God that I had in private. I was trusting in God in private, knowing that He was going to come through, and that would manifest where I worked and how I did my work. So in the same way, we are called not just to be affected by the things that are happening around us, but to impact our society, our world, and our workplace with our influence of good, with our peace, with our faith, with our trust in God, knowing that God is going to help us through. No matter what is happening around, the world could be falling apart. It could be falling into the depths of the sea, as Psalm 46 says, right? The point is, we are people that believe, and we are people that trust God. We are to be that light in a world that's increasingly growing in darkness. I hope this helps you, and I hope that you are able to find some peace in your heart today. May God bless you. Have a great day.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you were blessed by the material. We also want to remind you that there are several great ways to make sure you're staying up to date on our content as part of our 360 Legacy Plan. First, subscribe to this channel by clicking subscribe below. You can also download our incredible new app in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Just search Legacy Minded Men. And finally, visit our website at legacymindedmen.org for more information on what we believe, upcoming events, and how to join a group. Thanks again for watching.